garage where it all began. This is where Ipswich Rivercraft started. You know, we make the nautical signs. Well, while I've been doing this, I've been thinking, there's a lot of people out there just like me that make stuff in their garage. So let's go check out a few. Not far from where I live on my little island of Great Neck in Ipswich, Mass, lives a very dear and talented neighbor with spectacular views who creates what she calls realistic art with an expressive twist. Let's go check out Janice Colby. She's a fabulous artist. She's the real deal. Hi there.
Hi, welcome to C Plum Studio.
C Plum Studio. There it is. There's the name.
Yes.
And here's the artist, Janice Colby.
Come on in. I went to art school when I was 40. I was 40 years old and I said to myself, well, you know, it would have been nice if you'd been born more talented than you think you are, but you're 40 years old and this is what you want to do. So do it. And so I did.
It's amazing.
And I haven't looked back. I'm obsessed. To me, it's not work because I love it. I just have a creative being in my soul, and I didn't know it when I was younger.
There's a lot of artists out there that have really cool, interesting stories.
Yes.
I mean, listen to your story.
Yes.
How inspiring. At 40 years old, you just turned your life around.
Right. Yes. And I haven't looked back. And it was always there. And I never knew it. But, you know, a lot of people take it up late. Look at George Bush. He's doing all those portraits. They're pretty good. I've got the books over there.
All right, take me in.
All right.
Here we go. Come on, wait till you see this stuff. What is this?
This is my wall of family portraits.
Wow, look at this. Everybody, all your grandkids.
Most of them. I'm still working. I have really at least a half a dozen that aren't on there.
The eyes. Look at these eyes.
That's
These
Little
eyes.
Russian Scarlet. Yes.
They're just like so vivid. They're so lifelike.
And if you don't get the eyes right, you know, the eyes are that's the total expression of one's face. It's the personality of the person is in the eyes. So it's like key. And it's very fun to try and get it.
This is a really cool corner of the house because here we've got Jan.
A few years ago.
Yeah. And there is Sandy.
Unfortunately, right now.
It's
Hey, you're a very handsome man.
pretty accurate, I must say, of both of you guys. Jan's bright, expressive, cheerful, and lighthearted stamp is everywhere around the house. So what do you call this?
It's colorful life.
And what does that mean?
That means, in my view of the world, why have things dull? Why not bring out the color? Why not take a chance?
Your stuff is all very bright and
Yes.
very happy.
Even my landscapes are a little bit brighter than normal landscapes. This is some of my kitchen paintings right here.
Again, bright.
Bright,
Very bright and
Yep.
cheerful.
bright,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. You can't ever be in a bad mood here.
No.
And of course, your view doesn't stink too
No,
much.
my view doesn't stink.
Even in 4-degree weather, huh?
These are a couple chairs I painted and a chest I painted. In fact, for all my grandchildren, or for several of them, I painted a
A toy
Toy
box?
chest, toy
wow. What is it about the color that you love?
Oh, it's like an addiction. I mean, I would think you would understand that, you know? When you put that intense color on something, you know, it's like, you know, you're not supposed to want it that intense, but it's so much fun. I can't not do it. I have to.
Yeah.
So,
It is great.
Yeah.
It is great. That is, you call it a doodle? But that's like a real artistic doodle.
Yeah,
like,
right,
I could
right.
never do that.
right. But you just, you know, you just have fun with it. And you start with the circles, the big circles. And then you add more and more and more detail. You go in more and in more and in more until you feel like it's done. And
When do you know that it's done? When do you know a piece of art is
sometimes
done?
you don't know. Sometimes you go too far. And sometimes you have to put a painting down for a while and then go back to it, or turn it around and then turn it back and walk into a room and see it fresh. And yeah, sometimes if you're in a bad mood or you're full of self-hate that day, you'll hate everything you do. You know? But other days you'll be too self-confident. You'll like something that really isn't very good. So it's hard to know because you get emotionally involved in your art. You know, I mean, I love my art, and every artist will tell you that. You can't help it. You know, it's your baby. It's your creation.
So what happens when somebody wants a piece of your art?
Oh, the worst part is selling my art.
Really?
Yes. It's horrible. I have much easier time making art than I do selling my art.
You don't want it to go.
I don't want it to go, but I have trouble marketing it. I have trouble putting a price on it.
Right.
It's very hard.
But a lot of people do come to you and say,
Yes.
Jen, will you please make this for me?
Yes, they do.
I mean, you've done for,
yes.
how many people have you been commissioned by? I mean, what would you say?
Oh gosh, probably around 50, I guess.
Wow.
But you also have to do what you love to do at the moment, you know, as well as
What do
that.
you love to do at the moment right now?
I really have having fun with portraits. And I don't really do portraits in the traditional, serious way. I do them more like Alice Neal, who's an artist who did really fun, kind of not too serious.
So it's not cartoony.
No.
But it's
whimsical. It's a
Whimsical.
little lighthearted, I
Right.
guess.
What's
is
the
what-
hardest part for you on a portrait?
Well, at the beginning, getting everything in the right place. You know, you could be off one teeny little bit and it throws the whole face off. But on the other hand, everyone has a million different faces. The way you look right now or the way you look in a minute. And you can capture one aspect of a person and they might not think it's them, but it is them because we all have different looks.
Down the hallway, up the staircase, and in the kitchen and bedrooms. But it's in here where she makes her canvas come alive. Ooh, look
So-
at this spot. Oh my God.
This is my thing.
This is her garage.
Yes, it is my garage.
It's your little
Definitely.
hideaway.
Definitely is. This is
Doesn't-
where I come, and I'm always happy right here.
You know, that's I was just saying that when I first started doing things in my garage, I wasn't so happy.
Yes.
But then I started painting
Yes.
and just really getting into myself,
Mm-hmm.
which, you know, sometimes you don't want to look at yourself or hear yourself.
Right.
But when you're doing art, you really do need to
Mhm.
listen.
And you become so happy with your own company. You truly do.
They say that you got to like yourself
Yes.
first before
Yes.
you can like anybody else.
Yes, and this is the sort of thing that'll do it for you, I think, and for you too. This is a portrait I'm working on.
Who is it?
It's our eldest daughter, Lisa, and I'm still struggling with it a little bit.
Why?
This is not good right here, and although I kind of like the sparkle in her face, I'm still working on the mouth.
So you're making it gray.
Yeah, exactly.
What are we going to do? Play with his wings?
I just thought I'd fiddle with the feathers, because you can always take more fluff on the feathers, can't you? Fluff up the feathers. They're baby egrets in a row at attention. That's what it's called, at attention. Because they're trying to look invisible, so they don't get picked off, apparently.
Birds have always been one of her favorite subjects.
You draw, and you go in with it with a brush, and the wet brush, and you can move it around. You move the pencil marks around,
So you just used the pencil and now you're using a wet brush
Yeah.
to spread it around?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. To soften it.
Yeah, and just to make sure it's what I want.
What do you think he's doing?
He is screaming his head off. See? There's a different version of him there. There's a different version.
But before she did birds, trees were her focus.
Well, this is my Boxford room. These paintings were all done, influenced by my living in Boxford so many years in the woods. And I always loved trees, and I've hung several of them in here. Now, this is what my senior thesis was in art school at Montserrat, too. I did trees solely for 10 years or something.
You told me one of your favorite portraits is the one with the chair. Why is that?
It just came together perfectly. I've done a painting similar to that. There's one over there on that wall, and I've sold a few of them.
So tell me, what do you call that piece of art?
I call, well, that's an interior with flowers, but I call it the blue chair. It's bright, it's not serious, it's lighthearted, it's realism, but in kind of a playful way.
It's so surreal in here, like with the snow outside. It's just so soothing.
Yes, yes, well, it's what I require in my life is soothing.
But this studio in Massachusetts isn't her only happy place. When she's snowbirding in Florida during the winter months, her garage turns into a pop-up studio where neighbors come and learn tips from the Sea Plum Pro.
My Florida studio is really put together in my garage with a few 6-foot tables. It's garage made. There you go. And
in the garage.
And a few close friends who also make art love it when I set that up because they show up because they can just make a mess and have a good time.
You took a little bit of the trees, the portraits, the birds. You pulled all of this out from things you loved in your past.
It's said that every artist has a certain set of poems inside them. And these are my poems. These are the things that I love. I like to express. It's like, this is my world. This is how I view the world.
It's really cool.
Thank you.
This was so much fun.
Oh, I'm so glad you came.
You really inspire me. I mean, I need to up my game.
It's so much fun for me to share it, and it's so much fun to have someone here who wants to share it with me, because I love it.
Well, I think there's a ton of people like you, like me, that have great stories to tell, and I just have to say thank you so much for having us.
Well, you're totally welcome, and thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
Love you, Jan.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
You take care and stay warm.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We will. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.